The Man with the Yin-Yang Eyes. Season 3. Episode 10. Taking advantage of the miserable time Big D created, I used my blood to create a powerful seal. I rushed in front of Sagat at the fastest speed. For me now, this is the hope of turning the tide in the battle with him. He still thinks that my strength is still limited to when he fought with him in Thailand. Without hesitation or evasive intent, he used the Tiger Fist to deal with me. The two opponents, just like that, carried a strong belief in themselves. The two were like two trains rushing towards each other. Right now, no force can stop him and me. As soon as my seal touched Sagat's hand, he immediately jumped in terror. With my yin and yang eyes, I could see the tiger's soul coming out of his body. But Sagat improvised very quickly before the other two souls were blown away by me. He used his other hand with the power of an eagle to attack me. The distance was so close that I couldn't dodge. His attack made a long scratch on my stomach. It's also thanks to this attack that my seal can't work at all. Although somewhat regretful because this opportunity is not easy to come by, there is no other way. Expelling a soul from Sagat's body is considered to have reduced his power somewhat. Sagat's blow was quite strong. It caused me to be thrown backward. Fortunately, my shirt was torn, and my skin was not affected. Seeing me stagger back, Big D immediately rushed to catch me. He was extremely surprised. "What's the matter? Why isn't the blood seal not working? Did you do anything wrong?" Big D's question made me think. This is my first time using a blood seal, so I don't know if it's exactly what I've been taught. While looking at Sagat, I said to Big D, "I don't know, maybe it's not enough time to interact with that bastard. Maybe it's because I didn't do it right. All I know is that a soul has been ejected from his body. Now I need to do the seal again." As soon as I heard that I would perform the seal again, Big D exclaimed in surprise. "What? Do it again? You're not kidding me." I can totally understand this attitude of Big D, because to perform the seal again, Big D will have to hold off Sagat for a while. That's like having Big D make a sandbag for Sagat to punch and kick. While we were talking to each other, Sagat rushed in at an amazing speed. He knew that if he left me free, it would only be a matter of time before I created the seal. He has lost one soul. If he loses the other two, the chance of winning this match is almost zero. But this time, the action of Big D was completely out of my calculations. Without waiting for my suggestion, Big D rushed forward. "Kid, hurry up and seal it, or neither of us will have a chance to leave here." Still haven't discussed the proper way to deal with Sagat, so I don't want Big D to risk his life. I immediately raised my voice to stop him, but Big D continued to rush forward despite my words. Not giving Sagat a chance to approach me, Big D blocked his face. Because of this action, Big D received a full punch with the power of the rhinoceros from Sagat. More than anyone, I knew how powerful that punch was, because I was bruised like I was run over by a truck when I blocked that punch. Big D's body immediately flew backward, just like when he was stabbed by Jack with an umbrella. I rushed to catch Big D, but Big D told me to ignore him, quickly create a spell, let him handle Sagat. Sagat showed great satisfaction. He used the power of the eagle, preparing for the next attack. Even though his body was still shaking from the pain, Big D broke free from my arms and moved forward. Looking straight into Sagat's face, Big D shouted, "Useless kid, is that all you have? Want to come to play with me again? I'll show you what a real fight is." This expression of Big D surprised me, but I quickly understood. If Big D falls here now, he will never be able to set foot in Indonesia again. That means that the wish to help Wen rest in peace cannot be fulfilled. It is this that gives Big D an extraordinary strength. As soon as Big D took a few steps forward, Saget used his claws to scratch a line in front of Big D's chest, but he did not show any pain. To the surprise of Saget and me, Big D delivered a powerful punch to Sagat's face, which I didn't think I could do easily. Saget was even more surprised when he let an opponent as Big D hit him. While Saget was still surprised, Big D rushed to hug him tightly. At the same time, Big D also pushed him back away from me. Initially, Saget also used his hands to remove Big D. Still, then he repeatedly delivered powerful blows to Big D's back. Determined not to let go of his opponent, Big D gritted his teeth and endured the continuous attacks from Saget. At this time, Saget was extremely angry. He did not expect that he could not escape Big D's clinging. The consecutive punches and scratches aimed at Big D's back, pieces of Big D's shirt, and skin were scratched, but he continued to push Saget backward. Soon, he was pinned against the wall by Big D. With no other choice, Saget decided to deal with Big D before finding me to deal with. He repeatedly delivered powerful punches to Big D's back, as much anger he poured into punches. The corners of his lips started to bleed, but Big D still didn't let go of Saget. Seeing Big D being beaten like that, I couldn't bear it one bit. But right now, I can't be distracted. The seal I created will be the last hope for both of us. I bit the tip of my finger to draw blood, and after drawing the back of the talisman on my hand, I slowly began to recite the incantation. Now there is no time for me to do it again. A small mistake will cost me and Big D's life. After reading the last word of the incantation, I closed my eyes and waited. A few seconds later, a warmth slowly appeared in my palm. I immediately opened my eyes to see the seal that had just been formed in my hand. Before my eyes, the seal kept emitting a golden aura that made my heart sob unbelievably. I know that in the end, I did the right method, successfully created the strongest seal. I immediately looked at Big D and Saget. I couldn't help but be startled. At this point, Big D seems to have reached his limit, unable to take it anymore. His arms could no longer hold Saget but let go helplessly. Seeing that Saget was about to deliver the finishing blow, I immediately used the fastest speed possible to rush to Big D's rescue. This punch of Saget is the decisive blow to finish Big D, so he maximizes the power of both remaining souls in him. If not stopped in time, Big D losing his life is definitely inevitable. Fortunately, when Sagat's punch just touched Big D's body, my seal also touched Big D's back. Right now, I can only use Big D as a bridge against Saget. The seal worked without wasting my and Big D's efforts. The rhinoceros and eagle spirits were immediately expelled from Saget. Despite putting the seal on Big D's body in time, the power of Sagat's punch was still very strong. It caused Big D's large body to be pushed back. I quickly caught him. Looking at Big D's face, I could see that he was in great pain. One of his hands was clutching his chest. I guessed that he was seriously injured. Seeing the sweat continuously rolling down Big D's forehead, I knew that the pain was tormenting him. Gritting his teeth with a wry smile, Big D said some of his ribs were broken, but Big D considered it a fair price to solve Saget. I helped Big D sit down and walked over to Saget. I saw Sagat's body shaking non-stop as if he was trying to stay on his feet. Unlike others, after the souls of the animals came out, they were in a coma for a short time. Saget can even stand now, proving his mental strength is truly amazing. Looking up at me with helpless eyes, Saget could only say a few words as if everything was going to go on. Everything wasn't over yet. Looking at his appearance now, I can only tell him that, I don't care what happens next, but for you, it's really over, you bastard. Along with my words, I also gained momentum. Then a kick like heaven fell on the neck of Saget. History repeated once again. I definitely did not hold back. I did not want this stubborn guy to stand up again. Through this, I also want to prove to Saget that only strength can bring strength to people. Relying on witchcraft sooner or later will have to pay the price. But it seems that Saget still doesn't understand the message I want to tell him. He tried to reach his arm towards the door as if begging for help from someone. I guess the person behind that door was the one who helped bring the souls of the beasts into Saget, thereby granting him the power he had always yearned for. This I also anticipated because with Sagat's ability, he couldn't perform such a high level of magic. I turned my gaze to the dark door, waiting for the next person to come. But when Saget collapsed completely, the other hidden person still did not appear. Waited a little longer, but no one appeared. I immediately went back to call Big D. Hey, can you still go? I guess the guy pulling the strings is behind the door. I want to check in there. Do you want to go? Without answering me, Big D stood up heavily, one hand clutching his chest. The other, he pulled out a pistol and pointed it toward the door. We both moved forward cautiously. But it seemed that our caution was unnecessary, because we quickly realized that no one was inside as soon as we entered. All that was in this room was a table like the kind used by women to do makeup. There were some things on it, but I couldn't make out what they were because it was so dark. After carefully checking the surroundings, Big D and I confirmed that the person hiding here had left before we entered. Possibly as soon as Saget was defeated, he left. This raises a new question in my mind. Who is he, and what is his purpose? I slowly approached the table used to make up. Only now I realized that on the table was a very delicate mask. I immediately picked it up and held it out to Big D. Hey, this seems to be the guy who hypnotized you before. Do you still remember him? Holding the mask in his hand, Big D couldn't hide his anger. How can I forget this damn bastard? If I catch him, I'll let him know. But like me, Big D couldn't figure out who was behind all this. Right now, my phone rang. It turned out that Valentine called me to find out the situation. I said I was fine, only Big D was injured but not seriously. Then I briefly told Valentine what had happened here. When she learned that the mastermind had disappeared, Valentine didn't seem surprised, as if she had already guessed it. Valentine also informed us of an important piece of information, that all those involved in this incident were taken away from the police station by the military. I was warned by Valentine about this, so it's not surprising. Then Valentine and I ended our conversation. Looks like the military was one step ahead of us. All traces, as well as clues, were cleaned up by them. During the conversation, Valentine said that she had used every means possible by law to stop them, but to no avail. This meant it was over for me and Big D, so I pulled Big D out of here. When it's all over, the only person who feels satisfied is Big D. Now, he can go to Indonesia freely without fear of me finding things anymore. As soon as he walked out the door, Big D kept making theories about the mysterious mage. Seeing that, I told Big D not to guess anymore. The most necessary thing right now is to go to the hospital to check the wound. Considering this is over, I don't want to talk about it any further. 2 days later, when the wounds were still not healed, Big D still groans when he exercises, but he has decided to hit the road. I originally wanted Big D to rest more, but knowing that he was too eager to go, I had to listen. Before leaving, Valentine came to see us off at the airport. Seeing our condition, especially Big D, Valentine couldn't help but grumble. You two are the most stubborn people I've ever met. Look at you guys, tattered like 2 torn shoes. Knowing that these words came from Valentine's concern for me, I just kept silent and said nothing. Big D is the opposite. He says everything will be fine. Then we said goodbye to each other and walked away with our luggage. For this trip, I feel there are too many challenges. Despite knowing the identity of the antique dealer holding the human skin lantern, Indonesia is a vast island nation with thousands of islands. It's not easy to find someone in such a place. I told Big D, "This trip is like finding a needle in the seabed. I think you should prepare yourself for the worst case scenario." Contrary to my anxiety, Big D was extremely optimistic. "Come on, don't be so pessimistic. I've got everything sorted out. We're not even afraid of the trip to Thailand. What are you afraid of this time?" When I heard that Big D had planned in advance, I couldn't help but wonder. Have to remember that this damn fat guy always makes extremely unpredictable decisions at crucial moments. So I cautiously asked Big D about the plan. Big D immediately answered me nonchalantly, "Of course, we go to the merchant to negotiate. I will ask him to sell me the lantern back. If he doesn't sell, you know what to do." Hearing this, I don't know what to say anymore. Big D is still Big D, cannot be changed. Not paying attention to my attitude, Big D started to pull down his eye patch to prepare to sleep. Before going to sleep, Big D did not forget to tell me to wake him up when he arrived. At this moment, my body was so pressed by Big D's massive body that I couldn't breathe. I grumbled to Big D, "Coming on a plane with me is really a disaster. Next time, I will remember to buy another ticket for myself." Finally, the plane took off. It was a long flight. It took 10 hours to fly from San Francisco to Indonesia. After fidgeting in my overcrowded chair for a while, I gradually got used to it and started to fall asleep without knowing it. While I was sleeping, I was woken up by loud noises. At first, I thought the plane had a problem. Thinking about this made me startled awake. But when you listen closely, it's not. It seems that someone is having a health problem, and the flight attendant is trying to help that person. Feeling curious, I leaned over to take a closer look, to see what was going on. At this time, in the middle of the plane, right next to the aisle, a person was having health problems. Looking at the expression on his face, I could see that he was in great pain. The flight attendant was extremely worried, constantly shaking the passenger. Suddenly he let out a loud cry, with both his hands clutching his chest. After the man's cry, many passengers were startled. They began to turn their attention towards the man. Looking at him, everyone guessed that he had a heart attack. Seeing this scene made me feel sorry for the man, but my intuition told me that things weren't what people saw. Instinctively, I reached up and took off my glasses. Just as I feared, what I just saw startled me. I see now a ghost, rather an evil spirit, because only evil spirits seek to harm others. At this moment, the evil spirit was using its arm to squeeze the man's heart. Realizing that the situation was becoming more and more serious, I couldn't hold it anymore. If I didn't intervene quickly, the man would die as inevitable. I immediately wriggled out of my seat and bumped into Big D, who was sleeping. He was annoyed, nagging me all the time. After getting out of my seat, I immediately approached the evil spirit and shouted, "Evil spirit, stop quickly, don't harm innocent people. If your family refuses to let that man go, don't blame me for being cruel." Hearing my scream, not only the people around but even the evil spirit turned to look at me. After a few seconds of bewilderment at the fact that I could see it, the evil spirit regained its original glee. It turned to face me and flashed a ghostly smile. Looking at its body, I realized that like other evil spirits, it was all just a black smoke of illusion. But unlike other evil spirits, it has a heart like that of a living person. The evil spirit that knows that I can see it will certainly prevent it from harming others. It decided to give up on the other man and slowly approached me. When he was 2 rows away from me, his arms suddenly stretched out unnaturally. Of course, this did not surprise me, and it is not difficult to guess when its target was me. Seeing the evil spirit's hand reaching towards me, I immediately prepared to deal with it. At this moment, a man came up behind me. He called himself a policeman and started to control me. He didn't want me to cause trouble. This incident was so sudden that I couldn't turn around. It was at that moment that the evil spirit had a chance to attack me. Its hand immediately went to my heart. It slowly thrust its hand into my chest. The first feeling was the cold, as if an ice block was stabbing my chest. Then the indescribable pain. I could only grit my teeth to endure. Seeing the pain on my face, Big D thought that the policeman hurt me because he couldn't see the evil spirit. Without hesitation, Big D immediately threw a powerful punch to the policeman's face. Along with that, Big D did not stop cursing him. Although I escaped the policeman's control, the evil spirit's hand was still squeezing my heart, getting stronger and stronger. My body can't seem to move anymore. If I don't find a solution quickly, my heart will surely be crushed by this evil spirit.